everyone, welcome to week 1 of the 2022 college football season. We are back, everybody. My name is Mike Browning. I'm the host of the College Football Road Trip at CFBRoadTrip.com. I'm excited to be back. We have a great slate of week 1 games. My first game on the road this year will be in week 2. We'll be in Manhattan, Kansas for the Missouri at Kansas State game. But with that said, let's just go ahead and jump into this week's games. Let's start off with a couple of Thursday night matchups. Our first one, the backyard brawl is back. That's right, we have West Virginia traveling to number 17 Pitt. Pitt had an amazing season last year winning the ACC. Obviously, they're going to have to break in a new quarterback this year, but I still think that they have a great year. West Virginia, they're trying to crawl up the standings in the Big 12 a little bit this year. I think they're still going to struggle some, and the struggles are going to start this week, especially having to play on the road. I have number 17 Pitt winning against West Virginia in the backyard brawl on Thursday night. Our second Thursday night matchup is a Big Ten matchup. We have Penn State traveling to Purdue. Penn State struggled mightily in 2021, but that would happen when you play in the Big Ten East. You have 3 top 10 teams ahead of you in Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State. This year, Penn State's looking to bounce back. They're starting off by playing a Big Ten West team, which is the weaker of the two sides of the conference, and I think Penn State's going to take that to their advantage and win this game on the road. I have Penn State winning on the road over Purdue in Big Ten play on Thursday night. Next, let's go to a Friday night matchup. We have Big 12 versus Pac-12. TCU traveling to Colorado. It's going to be interesting to see how TCU plays this season with a brand new head coach for the first time in ages, as Gary Patterson has left and Sonny Dykes has moved over from SMU. Sonny Dykes had a pretty good career at SMU, so it's going to be interesting to see how he adapts to Big 12 play and Big 12 teams. It's going to start off with a win this week because Colorado has struggled the past couple years in the Pac-12, and I think their struggles continue into the 2022 season. I have TCU winning on the road at Colorado on Friday night. Next, let's move to a Saturday night matchup. We have North Carolina traveling to Appalachian State. Appalachian State is always at the top of the Sun Belt Conference. 2 of the 3 losses last year were to Louisiana, who eventually won the conference. So you know they're going to be right there at the top again this year. North Carolina came down a little bit last season, but I think they're going to be favored to win this game, mainly because North Carolina played a week 0 game, and so they have already played. They've already been on the field. That's going to come to their advantage this week. Have North Carolina winning on the road at Appalachian State. Next, let's go to our Sunday night game. That's right, we have a Sunday and Monday night matchup in the week 1 of the college football season. We have Florida State traveling to LSU. LSU is another team, brand new head coach, Brian Kelly coming in from Notre Dame. It's going to be interesting to see how this works out and how quickly, if LSU can rise to the top in the SEC. Florida State, again, they have already played a week 0 game, so they have been out on the field. I do think LSU will get better as the season goes along, but I think Florida State is going to be able to come into New Orleans where they're playing this game, and they're going to be able to compete, and I think there's a chance that they can pull off this upset because they've already played a game this season. I have Florida State winning against LSU in New Orleans on Sunday night. Next, our Monday night matchup this week, number 4 Clemson versus Georgia Tech. I think Clemson is overrated to start off this season. Yes, they played a lot better the second half of last season, but I still don't think they're the number 4 team in the country. Fortunately, though, they're playing a Georgia Tech team who is not very good. Hopefully they play a little bit better this season, but they were at the bottom of the ACC last year. I don't think Clemson's going to have any trouble with this team this week, and we'll see how Clemson does as the season moves along. I have number 4 Clemson winning at Georgia Tech. They are playing in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium on Monday night. Next, let's go back to some Saturday matchups. We have number 7 Utah traveling to Florida. Utah is a team that's number 7 to start off the season. That's a very high rank. I believe it's the highest in the Pac-12. It's going to be interesting to see if they can continue to build that momentum over last year because they've had an amazing 2021 season. There's a couple other teams in the Pac-12 that are looking to climb up. Oregon's looking to get back to the top. We're going to be seeing how USC does with Lincoln Riley coming in. But at least to start off the season, Utah's going to play great. They're going to play great in this week on the road to Florida, a team that had struggled last year in 2021. Utah's going to win this game going away. Number 7, Utah winning on the road at Florida. Next, let's go to our first ranked versus ranked matchup of week 1. We have number 23, Cincinnati, traveling to number 19, Arkansas. We all know the Cinderella story of Cincinnati last year, although they wouldn't want to call it a Cinderella season, but being able to make it into the college football playoff as a non-Power 5 team for the first time, what an amazing year. They are going to fall back a little bit this year. That's why they're starting off ranked 23rd. On the flip side, you have Arkansas, a team that is continuing to play better every year. I don't think they're going to be able to take teams by surprise this year, but they're still going to be competitive in the SEC and be at least the middle, if not nearer to the top in the SEC. And that's going to start off with a win this week. I have number 19 Arkansas winning at home over number 23 Cincinnati. Next, let's go and see the defending national champions. We have number 11 Oregon traveling to number 3 Georgia. They're actually playing in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, but it's basically a home game for Georgia. What an amazing year for Georgia last year, winning the national championship. They're going to be right at the top of the rankings all season long, I believe. They have a very good chance of making it back to the college football playoffs. Oregon is a team that took one step back last year, but that doesn't mean they're not going to compete for the Pac-12 title this year. I think it's going to be competitive for at least the first half, but being almost a home game for Georgia, playing in Atlanta, being the defending national championship, being that they're always near the top of the rankings, I think Georgia is just going to be way too much in the end. I have number 3 Georgia winning against number 11 Oregon at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta on Saturday. And then finally, our game of the week, we have number 5 Notre Dame facing number 2 Ohio State. Again, brand new head coach Notre Dame with Brian Kelly moving to LSU. We have Marcus Freeman stepping into the head coaching position. It's always going to be interesting to see how a new head coach does in such a prestigious position. And it's an envious task to have to go to number 2 Ohio State in your first week, a team that so many people are picking to win the national championship this year. And starting off the season number 2, that just tells you how much everybody loves this team. Notre Dame's going to play hard. They're going to be competitive at least through the first 3 quarters of the game. I just think Ohio State at the end is going to have a little too much for the rookie head coach. But I'm interested to see how Notre Dame continues to progress as the season goes along. But this week, number 2, Ohio State winning at home over number 5, Notre Dame. So like I said, quite a few really good games this week. Even more good games coming up in week 2 when, again, I will be on the road for the first time this season in Manhattan, Kansas for the Missouri at Kansas State game. I'm excited to be on the road. I'm excited to be here with you making picks every week. So go enjoy the first week of games, and we'll talk to all of you again next week.